What's going on, everybody? Today I want to talk a little bit about Marvel Realm of Champions, a game set in the same universe as Contest of Champions, but ultimately a very different experience. An experience that is no longer going to exist pretty soon, as Marvel Realm of Champions closes on March 31st, 2022. It was actually just pulled from the App Store today as well. I know because I tried to download it and couldn't. And I want to talk a little bit about what this could mean for MCOC, because we really don't know. It's all speculation. And I'm not sure if Kabam is, officially going to comment on this outside of just talking about what's going to happen with Realm itself. Which, if you're curious, you can check out this forum post or even just pause this video and read it for yourself. Not going to go through all the details. It's not a huge surprise that the game is shutting down. If you look at their different socials or just on the subreddit here and click on new, well, the latest post was 27 days ago. And although I'm sure some people, played this game and, love this game and everything, it just doesn't really seem like it ever took on mass appeal, which is pretty unfortunate, man. Gabriel Frazera here, he is the creative and art director for Marvel Contest of Champions, as well as Marvel Realm of Champions. And Gabe is I can't say that I know Gabe on a personal level. Can't say that at all. But I have talked to Gabe about once a year, except for during the pandemic, since 2016, and I can remember most of our conversations, but I can remember the first time I talked to him. He's probably the second or maybe third person I ever met at Kabam. Had no idea who he was, just knew he was standing around the MCOC booth. First time going to Comic-Con, never did a face reveal or anything like that. So, he didn't know who I was either or anything like that. And we're just talking about the game. And he had mentioned that he had another idea for a game, and me being someone that wants to make games, I was like, oh, dude, that's super cool. So, I'm pretty happy that he at least got to, get his ideas out there. And I'm not even sure if back then that's the same game that he was thinking of or what it became or whatever. But happy that he at least got to, kind of see that through. He did go on to post a few tweets here. I'll just read the first one that says, "For the past 4 years, Realm has been a bold experiment for me. I've poured a lot of my creative energy building this universe, working alongside some of the best artists and writers in the business to push the boundaries of Marvel through great storytelling." And yeah, I like a lot of what Realm did. I don't really want to talk about the stuff that I necessarily disliked and would ultimately, made me, not download the game. But there were things that I liked about it, and I wanted the game to do well. I liked some of the art for it. I thought it was really cool. Some of it felt like a step up from MCOC. In other ways, some of it did feel slightly generic, but I think that was kind of the point. Is their tagline was make Marvel yours. So you got these individual pieces, and alone they might feel a little bit more generic, but you got to customize them how you wanted and really make them yours. So I think that was cool. Man, my Marvel knowledge is so poor, but I believe that this is Scar, who I think is the son of Hulk. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but it's got this super cool sword here. This War Thor, please. I know not everyone wants to see characters from Realm cross over into, the contest, which I've got mixed feelings on myself. I do really like Sorcerer Supreme and Storm Pyramid X, but the other two that we got, Silver Centurion and Jabari, I could, take it or leave it. So, 50-50 on these characters. But this is a character, dude, I would love to see this character added to the game. War Thor just looks so cool. Got, one hammer and one arm basically on fire. And then the opposite arm with ice. Super cool, man. We'll love to see this added to MCOC. And then some of the other art I think it's pretty cool too. You can see this is one of the just individual pieces, for a Spider-Man kind of character, I guess. But it looks cool. Same thing here for a really badass looking cape for Storm. Like, dude, if they had this cape on Storm, it would instantly up the cool factor for the character. I don't think we're going to be seeing this type of stuff, just to be clear, which, again, we're going to get into in just a moment. But the other thing that I wanted to point out that I really liked that Realm did is they made these update videos. And even though I didn't play the game, I would check out these update videos just as someone who makes content. I can sometimes look at the content produced by, other companies for other games that I play, and I get that immediate feeling of like, oh, this is poorly done, this is cheesy, this is dumb, or this is really well done. And with this one, I felt like it was really well done. I feel like it was, pretty snappy. I feel like they had good visuals to go along with what they're talking about. Of course, it's Twitter video, so it's failing to load right now. Thanks a lot, Twitter. But anyway, it's not the point. I feel like some of the stuff they did was really cool. It just, the game didn't work out. And again, I'm not totally surprised that didn't work out. It didn't really, I didn't really take a huge interest in it after seeing some of the gameplay. But anyway, what does that all mean for MCOC? Well, we don't really know. Here's what I do know. I know that through talking with some of the developers at, Comic-Con, the last Comic-Con we had at least, pre-pandemic, I know that some of those developers working on Realm of Champions, they did come from Marvel Contest of Champions. And it definitely wasn't all of them. It's not like the entire team was working on both games. But I know some of the developers that, maybe they were a quest designer or something like that. They did go to work on Realm of Champions. And I also know that some of those people, they're just not even with Kabam at all anymore. Has nothing to do with the shutdown here. It's just, that's life. Sometimes you find a different job, a different creative interest, right? But what that could mean is that maybe some of the developers that went over to Realm, maybe they would come back to Contest. Don't know. It definitely has felt like, it definitely has felt like the developers for MCOC were maybe a little bit overworked and understaffed, because looking at some of the side quests, it seemed pretty clear to me, but again, I don't have really that inside perspective, but it seemed pretty clear that, as people want to do cool things, but they're just under such a time crunch. So maybe if they can get some of the devs that were working on Realm over to Contest, maybe that would allow people to have a bit more time. And just maybe a higher level of polish than we've been seeing as of recent here with, all the issues. We're getting these compensation packages for how long now, right? So it's pretty clear at this point. Yeah, the Contest hasn't exactly been living up to its full potential. But again, we don't know if these developers are coming over from Realm to Contest. I think in any business, you don't really want to put all your eggs in one basket, especially one as big as Kabam. I say as big, but of course, they're nowhere on the level of, they're not Google or Amazon or something like that, right? But still, they're they're a company that wants to have more than one game to their name, right? In case something fails with MCOC, or just, there's potential to make even more money with other games. So it's possible that the developers that were working on Realm, maybe they're going to go to another unannounced project, or, sometimes what happens is layoffs, right? So we don't actually know what's happening. I hope it's not any sort of layoffs. I hope nobody is losing their job. But we don't really know what's going on. Here's what I would say: if we were going to get developers from from Realm of Champions to MCOC, what would that actually mean for MCOC? Well, if we look at that game, it's a PvP game with items. And MCOC just so happens to have a PvP mode, solo competitive mode, that's also going to be a source of relics or items. Now, it's going to be totally different, right? The term PvP or items are like, there's such broad terms, and one game to another it's something entirely different. So I don't think that they're going to be copy and pasting anything from that game over to MCOC. So if you're worried about that, don't be. But what I would expect is that through some of the experience gained over there, seeing what works, what doesn't work, maybe having some of the the people that would be able to analyze the PvP data and stuff like that, maybe they'd be able to help out. And I'm sure they wouldn't just suddenly be in charge of these systems. They would probably just be helping out with these systems that have already been in the works for MCOC for years at this point, or however long they've been in development for. So I'm kind of hoping that that's the case, is that through having these maybe potentially additional developers coming from Realm over to MCOC, maybe it could just lead to an overall better PvP experience, and using some of those lessons and just having that experience, the developers with that type of experience could help out in MCOC. But again, it's all speculatory. The other thing that I would say that could potentially make MCOC better is story. And I'm not really a story guy. I hit skip every single time. But I know some people are really into the story. And although I'm not a story guy, I do like when the game does at least feel like it has a purpose, even if I don't necessarily care to read every single detail of why we're doing the things we're doing, But they do say in this shutdown post here that Marvel Realm of Champions started with one big question: who killed the Maestro? The answer to this question, as well as the conclusion to the story, will be revealed here before the game comes to a close. So this game, it definitely did have some story-driven elements to it. And again, some, fantastic art and all that. So potentially that could be some help for MCOC too. Maybe some of these artists would be able to redesign some of the old characters. I don't know. I don't really want to get hopes up too high, because that's how, that's what leads to disappointment. Again, these developers, they could be going to an entirely different unannounced project, or, whatever. We don't really know. But yeah, I kind of just want to talk about it because it is a big deal. This was meant to be like the next big thing from Kabam, and they're just pulling back on it. They're saying it's not working out. The game is shutting down, and I feel like it's got to impact MCOC in some way, whether it be something small or maybe something larger. And I'm not sure if we're ever truly going to know, but it's kind of fun to think about. The other thing that I know people are probably going to question is if Realm of Champions had any kind of impact on kind of the game economy side of things. Because Realm of Champions, if we kind of match up timelines, it does feel like the monetization for MCOC, it does feel like it got amped up a bit, somehow like intertwined with MCOC. With Realm of Champions, and like the development and release and stuff like that. But I don't know. I don't know if there's any sort of correlation between the two. Like it's a business at the end of the day, right? Whether they're making money on Realm of Champions or not, they still want to make as much money from MCOC as possible, right? So maybe there was some added pressure there to make more of a profit, but Kabam, they're going to want to do that just like any company is going to want to do that regardless. So I don't know if there's any real need to speculate about that kind of thing, but yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it all. Kind of just wanted to share the news about the shutdown and and get out some thoughts that came to mind when I first saw this. So yeah, believe it or not, the last thing I'll say is that even though it didn't work out, like I said, I still remember having the conversation with Gabe all those years ago, and just in kind of watching the development of it all, it kind of, you know, did inspire me a bit to keep working harder to go for my dreams as well. So whether they're successful or not, it's not always going to work out. It's not always going to be successful, but you got to go for it, right? So, yeah, that'll do it for this video, though. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.